Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Presidential Election Petition Tribunal begins hearing of the petitions filed by the PDP and 3 other parties against the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February presidential poll. Federal High Court sitting in Lagos dismisses a $55 million debt recovery suit filed by the federal government against Ajip Oil Company for lack of proof. Federal government files notice of appeal. President Buhari calls for fairness and equity as he inaugurates board of the N.East Development Commission for effective rebuilding of the area after years of attacks by insurgents. And South Africans go to the polls to choose new leaders amid complaints of lack of progress 25 years after the restoration of democracy in 1994. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and go to youtube.com/channelsweb to view our videos. Watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. And besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature, so you can use it to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the board of the N.East Development Commission with retired Major General Paul Tafa as its chairman. The president says the inauguration is a show of appreciation to the people for their massive electoral support, as well as a strategy to rebuild the N.East region. At the brief ceremony, which took place at the Aso Villa Council Chamber, President Buhari asked the members to be fair in discharging their mandate.
The expectation of this government and people of the zone that you will rapidly and systematically set to work to address all areas of your mandates in a fair and equitable manner. The demonstration of the commitment of government to your takeoff, a provision of 10 billion naira has been made in the 2019 budget, and I expect you to judiciously apply the resources. At this juncture, let me charge the chairman and members as follows. You shall, as a matter of urgency, conduct comprehensive survey for all states in the zone to determine the reconstruction and rehabilitation needs of all the socio-economic sectors of the zone and develop an intervention master plan based on outcome of the assessments. Develop policies and implementation guidelines for immediate intervention in the development of the zone.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. The House of Representatives is to investigate allegations of fraudulent activities in the presidential amnesty program. This follows a motion by a lawmaker, Tajuddin Obasa, over allegations and reports of massive corruption and outright embezzlement of the funds in the program. According to Mr. Obasa, the program, which has been on for some years now, is to build the capacity of youths in the Niger Delta, and the federal government recently paid a sum of 8.5 billion naira to the program for the execution of that objective.
Between 14 and 16 February 2000, the federal government paid the sum of 8.5 billion naira into the Presidential Amnesty Program, TSA account, for the execution of this lofty idea. Concerned by the media reports and outcry of massive looting at the Kayama Amnesty Center between 14th and 16th February 2019, where security agents, the coordinator of the center, and unknown person were alleged to have carted away equipment worth billions of naira in the starter park warehouse, allegedly to the knowledge of the special advisor on amnesty to the president. also concerned about media reports of massive corruption and outright embezzlement of funds meant for the execution of the program's objective. Hence, it has become imperative to investigate these allegations for the good of the Niger Delta people and the nations at large.
Ahead of the June 2019 inauguration of the 9th National Assembly, the outgoing governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, is asking the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to issue him his certificate of return for the Imo West Senatorial District, having won the election. Governor Okorocha explains that the electoral umpire lacks the constitutional powers to deny him the certificate of return for an exercise whose result was declared and announced in his favor.
Is that okay? Last week, I wrote a letter to INEC officially for the first time myself, informing INEC about their wrongdoings and the illegal actions taken by INEC to withhold my certificate on mere allegation of duress, which was never founded. Neither was there any committee set up to investigate the matter. So INEC on their own believed the reports by the returning officer without investigating the authenticity of such allegation. So there was no issue of fair hearing at all to have asked me whether I actually committed the offense that the person alleged. But what is important here is that INEC doesn't have the power to withhold the certificate of return, having declared the result.
Let's move over to Abuja studios, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by with more stories. Hello, Ibrahim.
Hello, Melinda. Let's talk security now. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olunishakin, believes that enhanced joint and combined operations are imperative to fighting the asymmetrical nature of insecurity in the country. He explains that to achieve the desired level of joint force capability, there is the need to interrogate the training of the military in view of current security challenges facing the country. The Chief of Defense Staff was speaking at a conference on emerging security challenges in Abuja.
From civil unrest, clashes between farmers and herders, insurgency and armed banditry, Nigeria faces a myriad of security challenges. This has made it essential for the security agencies to stay up to date on the latest security strategies and techniques to ensure effectiveness in addressing the problems. This is what the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olunishakin, tried to buttress at this conference on emerging security challenges in the country.
Recently, the place of joint and combined operations have necessitated the need for numerous joint efforts to address our challenges. As General Sinowa stated, and I quote, "If success is to be achieved in modern warfare, the Army, Navy, and Air Force must be ready to work together," unquote. It was therefore imperative to emphasize joint and combined operations in the armed forces of Nigeria.
Supporting his view, the Minister of Defense, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary in the ministry, made a case for an effective joint forces capability by the Nigerian military to effectively contain the insecurity in the country.
The increasing need for joint operations within the last few years is indicative of the importance of synergy and cooperation between all arms and services in the conduct of our operations. This joint approach to military operations has been effective and result-oriented in achieving successful outcomes in addition to the single service operations.
More than being another talk shop, the military leadership is hoping that the lessons from this conference will make a remarkable difference in the country's security situation.
And now to the northwest of the country, where Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has ascended the bill seeking the establishment of 4 additional first-class emirates in Kano State. Governor Ganduje's ascent comes on the heels of the passage of the bill by lawmakers in the Kano State House of Assembly. The House had passed the bill for the creation of the 4 additional first-class emirates to be situated in Rano, Gaya, Arai and Bichi, following the approval of the amendment of the Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs Law. Governor Ganduje explains that creating more emirates will provide the enabling environment for government to further understand the need of the people.
We have Kano Emirate, Bichi Emirate, Rano Emirate, Gaya Emirate, and Arai Emirate. Very soon, all other processes will be completed for the appointment of the respective emirs, providing them with the letters of appointment and thereafter fixing dates for their coronations.
Now, the rainy season is almost here, and Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State is committed to seeing ongoing road projects completed before it fully arrives. While inspecting critical road projects in the state, Governor Obiano says he has impressed on the contractors to ensure quality projects, accelerate pace of work, and asphalt on roads where earthwork has been fully done before the rains become heavy.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano on an inspection tour of ongoing road projects in the state, beginning with the 3.8-kilometer Ekulum-Milionubi Road in N.East South local government area. The target is to ensure over 70% completion before the rainy season begins.
They've done the drain. The drain is almost 100% completed, and they are now in asphalt. By tomorrow, we'll be completing 1 kilometer of the 3.8 kilometers.
Governor Obiano, who is impressed by the work done so far, gives an assurance of his administration's commitment to completing road projects across the state.
This is the best time to make sure that we capture what is left, So I'm happy that our contractors are on site. They are working on over 123 sites all over. And I'm impressed with the quantum of energy my administration is putting on these roadworks.
He felicitates with the traditional rulers and residents who came out to express gratitude over the development.
The promise I made to our community is going on now. So as you saw it, I thank God for the governor for the work well done.
Thank God that they are starting working this road, because for long we have been suffering. We have been suffering because of bad road, especially here.
The team moves to Obiano axis of Awka South local government area, where he is received by the traditional ruler and the Anglican Bishop of Awka Diocese, Right Reverend Alexander Ibezim.
I want to use the opportunity I have here now to thank Your Excellency for his kindness in considering us fit and proper people he will give this opportunity of developing this road.
I was happy that you said you have mobilized the contractor. I owe you 2 things. Number 1 is that I will continue to pray for you.
The 2.6-kilometer road and 25-meter bridge in Obiano is expected to link more communities together and ease movement in the area.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. Still ahead in our business segment, demand for Nigeria's crude surges in the international market as the United States imposes fresh sanctions on major oil producer Iran. Do join us again.